we had that order of people. Everybody thought it was a restraining order. It wasn't a restraining order. It was a community order, and we could not like hide our money or whatever. Like we had a joint account. Like me and Gypsy shared it. I put money in it. She put money in it. Whatever. And she had just left, and we filed, and she filed, and then on there it had a community order. You know, couldn't like spend big lump sums of money or whatnot. And this kind of goes with the story of the Amber J. Taylor Swift thing. I got a notice on my phone. It was like a fraud notice. Gypsy tried to buy 2 Taylor Swift tickets with our money and spend like 12 grand on tickets. And thank God my phone caught it. Yeah, I called her, and it was her money and my money, but she couldn't do it.
This is why she could not do it. Going through a divorce is a stressful process, and many people cope with the feeling in different ways. In rare cases, divorce can bring out the worst sides in people, and their selfish or hurtful actions can have serious ripple effects. One question we hear from time to time in our family law practice is, what happens if my spouse either hides money or spends outrageously right before or during the divorce process? Unfortunately, we've seen cases where one spouse decides to spend a good chunk of money of marital assets either right before the divorce is filed or during the initial stages of the divorce. Whether they feel slighted or entitled, they spend the money to try to get gain to something unfairly or hurt their soon-to-be ex. How is this viewed by the court of law? Now, this is a family law in Illinois, but let me continue. Excess spending before a divorce. There are a number of common things a vengeful spouse may look to buy using marital assets, either before or during the initial divorce. Keep an eye for these purchases like vacations, automobiles, home, and also trips and things like that were on this list. Now, Gypsy and Ryan had what Ryan thought was a great relationship. Gypsy suddenly leaves him very quickly. And then after she leaves, they both file divorce papers. She did it so quickly that their money was still tied in the same bank account. They had a shared bank account. And keep in mind, when she was in prison, Ryan was paying for her things. So he had his own money, okay? They have shared money. When you file divorce, you are not allowed to spend, like you see here. It's only in rare cases that you'll see, these are from experienced people, and they're saying that when people get divorced in the initial phases, it's extremely rare, in extremely rare vengeful cases, for someone to try to spend an outrageous amount of the marital asset money in that initial filing. Gypsy had just left Ryan and was with Ken, right? Ryan was in shock. Ryan was heartbroken. They had both filed papers, but their money was still in the same bank account, his and hers. All of their money together was in the same bank account, both of their monies, including Ryan's. Now, it is not only wrong, it is illegal to spend large amounts of money when you're in that initial filing. And it's something that is not only wrong, it's something that attorneys who deal with the worst of people and going through the worst time of their life, according to what we're reading here, only in rare cases do they see someone try to do this. And in vengeful cases. Now, what's so sick about all this is she goes to be with Ken, and she wasn't just buying ticket for herself and her girlfriends and spending $12,000 on that, but she was going with you-know-who. How vengeful do you have to be? What did Ryan ever do to you to deserve that? Please do tell. Tell us. Make this make sense, Gyp Gyp. Because psychologically, if your therapist knew that you did this and that it's not normal, and they spoke with an attorney and realized that it is not normal behavior, they would realize that you have a pattern of being vengeful. Now, Ryan doesn't seem like he's vengeful at all. In fact, it's so sick because after this, you somehow call Ryan and say it was, oh, I can't believe I did that. Ha 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 ha. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Nick was crying for hours in the hotel after what you both did to Dee, and you convinced him to eat a brownie and took that as an opportunity to film him. And then if I pay attention, you're really the only one really laughing. And you laugh so loud and so long that he eventually giggles with you, which is just human behavior, even though he's sad and heartbroken, down deep. And what's so sad is you did the same thing to Ryan. You did this to him. You knew he was heartbroken and sad. You knew that this is wrong and vengeful to spend outrageous amounts of money. 90% of humans know that that is not okay. Okay? So you do this, and then you get him to laugh it off with you afterward. Ha ha, I can't believe I did that. Ha 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 ha. I don't know exactly what you said, but to him, to get Ryan to laugh with you about this and play it off as like, oh, it was so funny that I did that. No, Gyp, it actually is not funny. And the fact that you did that to Ryan and then convinced and manipulated him to laugh about it, poor Ryan, he's literally sitting there and he says, well, later on, we thought it was funny and we laughed about it. I thought it was funny. No, Ryan, I guarantee you that if Gyp hadn't manipulated you and done that whole thing she does where she laughs really loud and really long to get a male to laugh with her because they're trying not to be rude and mean, that you wouldn't have laughed about this. This is serious and this is wrong. So because she did this and it flagged on Ryan's phone, that is why he automatically filed a community protection order. And that just protects their community assets, which is like shared assets, basically. Which means that Gyp couldn't take all of Ryan's money while they were filing the initial divorce proceedings, right? Without consequences. Now, normally you don't have to file this. This is not a normal part of divorce, but it's in the rare cases of vengefulness that you see it and that they have to file it. But it's really rare that someone will do this and do it with a new person. It's really rare for someone to be filing divorce initially and spend outrageous amounts, like you see here, vacation money or concerts, whatever, but do it with the new person, with the shared community money out of the shared bank account from Ryan. Guys, she had her own money. She has other accounts she could have used. Okay? She has other accounts she could have used that other people have access to. She chose to use Ryan specifically because she wanted to take a ton of money out of their account before the divorce could be filed, which is wrong. And she wanted to do it with Ken. Now, I'm going to post a video tomorrow more about this money thing with Ken. Ryan has no idea how much she has ripped him off, really. Thank goodness his phone caught that. But Ryan is really looking through eyes of love, he really is Love is Blind. He doesn't realize that how wrong it is. I guarantee if he asked any attorney that deals with women like this what to expect, they would tell you, this is not a laughing matter. What she did was really serious. So I feel really bad for Ryan now. I don't know him as a person to person. And of course there's rumors, whatever. I don't know much about him, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt for now. But I don't think he did anything deserving of what Gypsy did to him. Taylor Swift is coming to New Orleans tomorrow and also Sunday. This is Nola. This is right down Gypsy in the Bayou. And you can see the price range. It goes from $400. And then if you want VIP passes and you want the lounge and you want the VIP lounge, you want to meet Taylor Swift, that starts around $4,000. Is the most expensive. Actually, I think it starts at $700, $900. or $9.99, and then it goes up to $4,000. So the most expensive ticket on here, and it's in high demand. So keep this in mind. It's high demand. It has everything. You get to meet Taylor. It's $4,579 each. So 8,000, around $9,200 for 2 tickets. And this would be the view. You'd see Taylor really well. And then you'd get to meet afterward and go to the VIP lounge. These are the perks. It has the mobile access. You got the VIP lounge. You got the VIP access. You got the concert. All the perks. And it would be $9,000. So I don't know what she needed to get the $12,000. Maybe she added merch to it. But for someone to pay $12,000 for a Nola concert is like ridiculous. Okay? That's like the most expensive ticket you could imagine. So she did this intentionally. And this is why Gypsy was bummed when she was like, I didn't get to meet Taylor Swift. Because she wanted that celeb experience again. What is her obsession with celebs? It's like she has to meet as many celebs as possible and try to associate and be BFFs with them. And she doesn't have like the understanding to realize they're literally just saying hi because they have to. And then she emulates them for a while. That's not the way to go about it, Gyp. If you really want to be a celebrity, you can become one. You just have to work. And I know you don't like doing that. So there's ways to do it where you could interview celebs. You could do that. You could literally call it murder confessions or something like that. And you could literally interview celebs. But, you're probably not going to do that because you don't like to work. So this is what it cost. So keep this in mind. Ryan, unfortunately, was not only manipulated to laugh about this, but then to think that he's somehow betraying her by telling anyone. And you notice in the video, I didn't put it here, but in his original video, he kind of made a clip like, okay, this is the only thing I'm going to say. He has a lot more to say, but he's not doing it because in his mind, Gypsy and him still love each other. And in his mind, the only reason she left him for Ken is because she's pregnant with Ken's baby. That's what she's telling him. And then she pulls a stunt like this, where if you pay attention to what attorneys say about this, they say that this is a vengeful act that people do when they initially file divorce, and it's rare.